A Pole Dancing/Fitness Guide. Chapter 1. Pole dancing is moving away from stripping to brand itself as G-rated fitness. A history of the pole dance. The Chinese pole, dating back to the 12th century, uses two poles on which men would perform as they leapt from pole to pole, at approximately 20 feet in the air. Pole dance in America has its roots in the Little Egypt traveling sideshows of the 1890s, which featured sensual kow-tow or hoochie-coochie belly dances. During the 1920s, dancers introduced pole by sensually gyrating on the wooden tent poles to attract crowds. Elvis Presley's Jailhouse Rock in 1957 used a pole dance in the song's video. Pole dancing grew to an art form where it now has athletic moves such as climbs, spins, and inversions. In the 1990s, pole dancing started being taught as fitness and art by Fanya Mondi, a Canadian who moved to Las Vegas. Pole Dance Essay 1. Most people think of pole dancing as something that strippers do. This is the old view. The new view is that pole dancing is a legitimate G-rated form of dance and fitness. A lot of men and women enjoy pole dancing as an enjoyable aesthetic fitness routine. It takes a lot of energy to do good pole dancing and it's creative too. So that's it. Forget about pole dancing as something strippers do. Think of it as a wholesome physical dance. In the early 1900s, the striptease dance was added to burlesque shows to entice men to return. Traveling tent shows had striptease acts. The smaller tent dancers started to use the pole in the tent's center to dance around. These tents became known as the dance pole tents. An idea of where pole dance actually started is linked to the maypole. This pagan ritual was seen by some as a phallic symbol, which may explain why some link it to the pole dancing we know now. In the religion of Vodou there is a tent used as a temple with a pole erected down the center, the podomiton. This pole is used for spirits to slide down and enter into our world and the ritual. The earliest recorded pole dance was in 1968 with a performance by Bell Jangles at Mugwump Strip Joint in Oregon. Sensual dancing as we know it today involves dancing around a vertical pole. The old ancient striptease became a forerunner to the modern updated variation. Pole dancing provides a display of acrobatics and strength, combined with a combination of sensual, flowing, feminine dance movements to form the art of pole dancing we now know and recognize. Pole Dance Essay 2. Pole dancing is a combination of dance and gymnastics. Pole dancers use a vertical pole which is either static or spinning. They train in gyms or dance studios. Pole dancing started in the strip clubs, but it has evolved into a dynamic dance of acrobatics and strength. Circus influences such as Chinese pole and other aerial arts have helped along the way, moving it away from the erotic environment. Competitions are usually non-sexual and are judged on tricks and transitions rather than sensuality. Pole dancing requires strength, flexibility, and cardiovascular endurance. In strip joints, they do mild things to arouse as opposed to real pole dancers who are acrobatic athletes. There are climbs, spins, and inverting the body weight. It often involves a lot of training to get anywhere near an advanced level. Pole dancing as we see it today originated during the Depression in America. The traveling carnival troupes would go from town to town. In one of the side tents aside from the main show, girls would dance suggestively on a small stage in front of crowds of cheering men. Pole dancing gradually moved into bars in the 1950s as burlesque became more popular, and then during the 1980s in North America, became pole dancing in the modern striptease sense. At some point, some dancers saw the pole dance as a fitness dance and started teaching it. Pole dancing, adagio dancing, and other dances are very strenuous and require lots of training in order for someone to get good at them, so we're moving from the realm where dancing was considered mild recreation to some forms of dance which are worthy of an elite athlete to perform. Amateur and professional pole dancing competitions are held around the world. Pole dance requires significant muscular endurance, coordination, strength, flexibility, upper body and core stability, as well as sensuality. Today, pole performances by exotic dancers range from basic spins and striptease to athletic moves such as climbs and body inversions. Promoters of pole dance fitness competitions have tried to change people's perception of pole dance to include pole fitness as a non-sexual form of dance and acrobatics. Some people are trying to move pole into the Olympics as pole sports. Pole dance Essay 3. Pole dancing classes are becoming a popular form of recreational and competitive sport, practiced and performed in a variety of sexual, non-sexual, and athletic settings. A typical pole dance exercise regimen in class begins with strength training, dance-based moves, squats, push UPS and sit UPS, and gradually works its way up to the spins, climbs, and inversions. A growing number of men are doing pole dancing as exercise. Some dance studios are offering pole dancing classes just for men. Pole dancing can be a sport done for fitness or a recreation done for the aesthetics of the dance. Cirque du Soleil has pole dancers in some of their shows. Pole dancing is in some music videos and concerts. Pole dance is the main subject of a webcomic titled Pole Dancing Adventures created by artist Lean Isabel. Some pole dancers on social media use the hashtag #NotAStripper to tell the world they're G-rated fitness pole dancers. Pole dancing competitions. The International Pole Sports Federation is trying to get competitive pole dance in the Olympics. Pole dancing competitions exist, including the World Pole Sport Championship, U.S. Pole Federation Championship, Pole Art, Miss Pole Dance America, International Pole Masters Cup Championship. Pole dance competitions began in the United States in 1991 with the Deja Vu chain of strip clubs holding an event called the Polympics, which lasted for a decade. Other competitions followed, both in the strip club industry and fitness. A wide range of amateur and professional competitions are now held worldwide. They are non-nude and focus on pole dance as an athletic and artistic form of dance and fitness. The first Miss Pole Dance World competition was held in November 2005 in Amsterdam. The International Pole Sports Federation was founded in 2009 to turn pole dance into a sport. The IPSF created rules and regulations to govern pole sports, such as a code of points, policies regarding health and safety, and certification for sports officials. National federations work with the IPSF on implementing these standards in national pole sports competitions. National pole sports federations associated with the IPSF now exist in multiple continents. The IPSF puts on the World Pole Championships every year, where pole dancers come from all over to compete and enjoy the scene. Types of dance poles. There are various dance pole types. Dance poles may be permanent or portable, have different sizes, have spinning and static modes, have different coatings, or be made from different materials. The standard dance pole typically consists of a hollow chrome, steel, or brass pole with a circular cross-section, running from floor to ceiling. Affixing at the ceiling gives more stability but is not always done, especially at buildings with high roofs. Dance poles that are permanent are fixed to the ceiling supported by a beam located in the roof. They are set to the floor by brackets and bearings. Portable poles are attached to a base or a mobile stage and do not need to be attached to the ceiling. These poles can easily be removed, dismantled, and fit into cases for transport. Poles come in a variety of diameters: 50 mm, 48 mm, 45 mm, 42 mm, 40 mm, and 38 mm. The diameter used normally depends on personal preferences and what the pole will be used for, either competitions or studio use. In the United States, the diameter is usually 50 mm, 2 inches, or 45 mm, 1.75 inches, allowing it to be gripped comfortably with one hand. In Asia, the diameter is usually 45 mm or less. In Australia, a 38 mm pole is popular. Poles come in various materials and coatings, each of which possesses its own properties, advantages, and disadvantages. The materials poles are made of are brass, titanium gold, stainless steel, and chrome. The brass and titanium gold poles are gold in color and are used to enhance the grip between the pole and the dancer and are normally used by more advanced dancers. The stainless steel poles are not as popular as the other types as they do not have the finest grip. However, they are used by dancers with sensitive skin. The chrome poles are silver in color and are most popular amongst beginners. The finishes some dance poles may possess are silicone sleeves and powder coatings. Silicone sleeves can provide maximum grip, although there are safety precautions dancers must consider before using silicone sleeves. These measures may include a great amount of clothing worn by the dancer or performing only static moves. Poles that are coated in powder provide improved friction and grip for dancers. Dance poles may have two different modes, spinning and static. In the spinning mode, the pole uses ball bearings to spin. This mode can be used to complete more experienced pole moves, make moves easier to complete and add a more dramatic effect to the move. Most spinning poles can also be fixed to the static mode where the pole cannot rotate. The static mode is regularly used when pole dancing is first taught to beginners. Products such as chalk or alcohol silica solutions may be used to help stick to the pole. Competitions may limit which products performers use. There are now poles available for use in clubs that provide visual effects. These poles are made with clear plastics and contain water, glitter, and unique reflective materials, which stand out when used in conjunction with strobe lighting, as well as lighting hidden in their base joists. These poles are not favorable to a dancer wanting to achieve better pole tricks as they bend slightly and tend to create a friction burn when slid down with any speed.